What's going on, guys? Welcome to the latest video. This is the second in the mini series of modifying this Grainfather SF50. First episode was installing the pressure transfer attachment, tri-clamp attachment. I've used that on the stout already, and this holds sufficient pressure. It's not rated, but it holds sufficient pressure in order to facilitate that, which is perfect. Not declared or rated, like I said, but it works a treat. So it's about 0 degrees here in Wales at the minute. So it's a perfect time to think about insulating as best we can this vessel. As you can see, I've already got a heat belt on it, and I just want to take the chill off the metal itself. There's nothing much I can do in this shed. It's a single block tin roof shed with a concrete floor. It's like a fridge anyway. So we've got no cooling problems at this time of year, as you'd expect, but heating and maintaining temperature we do. So that's what we're going to try and address. So unfortunately, I reached out to Grainfather and asked them if they were going to be selling a neoprene jacket for this anytime soon, and they said that they weren't, which it's quite disappointing that they wouldn't do it. There's a few out there on the market for similar bits of kit like this, and it's about 20 to 30 pounds. So I've had to make my own. So what I found is Mrs. Griffo's yoga mat, which hasn't seen a light of day for the last 2 years, so I'm sure she won't miss it. But I also found an old camping mat that we used, which has got that reflective element on there, but it's not as thick as this neoprene yoga mat. So I think I'm going to be going for this, which is, in terms of millimeterage, it's roughly 6mm thick, this one is, and this camping mat is 4mm. So I'm going to go with this, but I'm going to be utilising this one to lay the Grainfather on. Now to do that, I'm going to be taking the legs off, and I'm just going to be installing this jacket from this lip here up to just underneath where these clips are, because I think it'd be too much hassle to have it around the top here. Then we need to negotiate the handles as well. So let's get to it. And I think they're about 19mm. Let's go. So true to style, I've not planned any of this up front. Just going to wing it and see how well this works and all fits together. Ooh, look at that. Mingin' but. So that's not much of a bump for the insulation, as I'm going to call it, to go over. And as you can see, there's plenty of spare threads for me to just clamp that down with. Sweet. So I'm not sure how well you can see from that angle, but here we have the 40 litre mark, which, as you know, is the max capacity of the Grainfather G40. So that's normally where I manage to fill my fermenter up to. And that is 95 centimetres, 95 millimetres away from the lip here. And as luck would have it, that's exactly how low the handles are as well. So there's not really much point in me having to worry about tackling around this, which is going to be a faff. So in that case, this is where the beer is going to be sitting. Yeast, cake, etc. down at the bottom here. So I reckon I'll just start off with a strip like that. So I'm going to measure that up and cut to size first. Then we'll start worrying about the holes for all of these. Yeah. Cool. Hopefully that gives you an idea of the thickness of this. It seems pretty substantial, fair play. So, tape measure. So that is going to be, if we go for 28.5 centimetres, that should be gravy. Where's Stanley? There he is. 2 stands. Excuse-moi. Sit there and behave yourself for a minute. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. So I've marked out 28.5 centimetres in the end, just for a little bit of leeway. I'm not sure if you can see the pencil line all the way through, using the fermenter's leg as a straight edge. Very barbaric. Okay, let's get cutting. Let's go. Oh wow, this is cutting very easy. Yeah, I'm cutting it straight onto the concrete floor, but it's only going to be a used up blade at the end of the day. Sweet. I think the length that I need is approximately 1.2 meters or 1.3. I can't remember, I did measure it the other day. It's obviously the diameter. And this actually feels very warm and insulating, just under the knee straight away. So it's very promising. Okay. Things like the thermowell, I'm just going to lay it over there and then just trim a little bit around it, because I am going to be fitting my STC controller to this once we have a little bit of a rejig in here. So that looks good to me. Definitely. Yeah, spot on. So it's kind of sussed out. So I've made a couple of cross incisions on this point and this point, and it fits on quite nicely. It doesn't tear too much as you pull it, he says. Let's see how this next one goes. So over on this side, what I'm going to be doing, keeping this tight to the handle on the bottom here, working it around, getting it to that point. Use a pencil to mark top and bottom of these. These ones will have to be a little bit longer because of fitting it on the way round now. I'm not going to be putting the belt on just yet. I just want to make sure this fits nice and snug first. There we have it on the second lot of holes. Just as you can see, made incisions going this way, and that is nice and tidy. But might not even need a bungee to hold it on. Shall we go? Look at that. I'm pretty impressed with how this is turning out, to be honest with you. There's a bit of a faff with this thermowell, but looks decent enough. I was a bit lazy. I could have disassembled it and punctured a smaller hole through it, but I couldn't be arsed. So we've got these through. It's nice and tight. No bags anywhere. These through, and now we've got the slight overlap at the back. That's where the beginning is, and now we've got this bit that's overhanging, so I'll probably bring it to about here, and then we can start fitting the legs on. But I'm pretty chuffed with this. I think it's going to work pretty well. Do you know what? That wasn't as much of a faff as I expected it to be to take this off and put it back on, to be honest with you. I didn't even swear once, so that kind of gives you a good gauge. Right, belt is on, looking snug. Let's get the legs on. Oh, this back one is a little bit tight with doubling up the insulation. Get a couple of threads starting on there, and I'm sure it'll pinch down just fine. Actually, I'll do that last and work my way around. Come on, think, Gal, think. These thready boys are... oh, there's not much threads on there. Sure, it'll be fine once I start clamping it down. Don't worry. Yeah, they're not crossed. Plenty of threads, mate. I don't want to clamp it down too much in case it splits it. Yeah, let's do the rest. Ta-da! And there we go. Bungee. Nice new bungee for you, mate. And there we have it. All done. I mean, it's not the prettiest, but for something that's completely free, maybe a tenner if you need to buy a mat like that, it's definitely going to help matters. It's better than nothing, right? But yeah, pretty easy job to do. Definitely worthwhile getting a heat belt underneath it as well, which, like I said, I am going to wire this to an STC controller. And all these clips are still functional by just keeping it that bit shorter. And like I said at the beginning, that is where the 40 litre mark is. So this is where the beer is in contact with. I like it. It's good. It's good. Little bit tatty at the back with the overlap and a bit of bulgage there, but that's something I can definitely put up with. So I hope that has been useful to you. Even if you don't have a Grainfather SF50, I think this is still going to be beneficial and damn sight cheaper than some other alternatives. Just need a lot of patience, simple tools that you put the stuff together with. So join me on the next video, which is going to be a completely different series where I'm actually redoing the brewery. You've heard it here first. We are tearing it out and starting again. So it'll be a nice project for me over the winter. So, brewery rebuild, I'll see you there. Iechyd. Let's get a beer.